After sharing the story of discovering that my father had left when I was 7 years old, a moment I titled in a video called "The Drawer Was Empty," I began receiving messages from people whose memories stirred in unexpected ways. Some remembered being the child who felt absence. Others remembered being the parent who could not give warmth because they were overwhelmed and frightened or simply numb. And still others reflected on their own life choices with a quiet ache of regret. Reading these messages revealed something to me that I had not fully recognized before. I have found it relatively easy to forgive others, but forgiving myself, that has been different. There is a quiet loop that plays in the background of my mind. I've noticed it for years. It's one that I suspect many people may know well. It is what I call the "if only" tape. If only I had seen the pattern sooner. If only I had made a different choice. If only I had protected myself better. If only I had known what was coming. When this tape plays, my posture changes. My body subtly contracts. The present moment loses brightness, and the mind revisits the past that cannot be altered. And in those moments, I am not responding to life as it is now. I am negotiating with a memory. Through ongoing reflection and dialogue, and the path that I have named Non-Reactive Intelligence, I have come to see something with greater clarity. We often judge our past selves using knowledge that only became available later in life. Now, I want to clarify something first. This reflection that I am speaking of regarding self-forgiveness is not a statement about justice or accountability in this world. Harmful actions still require boundaries, protection, and consequence. The forgiveness explored here is an internal process, one that concerns how we carry memory and identity. It is not about how society responds to behavior. And seeing life through a contemplative lens does not remove our responsibility to care for ourselves, or protect others, or our own family, or to establish boundaries. Just as we are willing to maintain our vehicles, even while knowing they are temporary, we still act responsibly within the human experience, even as we explore forgiveness internally. The younger version of me who made choices in the past was not negligent. He was in a state of becoming, and he perceived the world through the scaffolding available at the time, through hope and trust confusion and longing, incomplete information. So to expect him to have acted with the wisdom of the present is to hold him to an impossible standard. And this is where radical self-forgiveness begins. It is not convincing yourself that nothing happened. It is not denying pain. It is not rewriting history into something prettier or more comfortable. Radical self-forgiveness is about allowing what happened to lose its gravitational hold on who you are becoming. The memories may remain. The stories may still arise. But the interpretive gravity, the pull that bends identity around regret, it begins to soften. I like to imagine events that happen in the world as bubbles in a stream. They appear shimmering briefly, and then they dissolve. Yet the mind often attempts to freeze these bubbles into permanence, or to replay them as defining chapters of personal selfhood. But radical self-forgiveness loosens this impulse. It allows events to remain part of the stream rather than monuments along its banks. This loosening does not occur through dramatic insight alone. It unfolds in our ordinary moments of day-to-day life, like washing your coffee cup without replaying regret, walking to the mailbox without self-evaluation, putting on your socks without narrating life's trajectory, or sending a simple message to someone, such as, "You know, I was thinking about you today," without wondering who you should have been instead. These are small acts of non-participation with self-judgment. They are micro-absolutions. And each time the hook is cast and not bitten, presence remains whole. Radical self-forgiveness does not erase learning, but it does allow learning without condemnation of the learner. The child felt abandoned. The parent felt overwhelmed. And the adult can hold both of these perspectives. In this widening of perspective, guilt softens into compassion, not only for others, but for the self who lived forward without spoilers. And if I could speak to that younger version of myself right now, I would not tell him he did nothing wrong. I would tell him something much simpler. Don't make it real. Don't make it heavier than it needs to be. Just choose what matters most right now. Loving kindness, gentleness, compassion, softness. Remember, life will always cast hooks. This world will continue presenting situations, interpretations, opinions, emotional weather. Freedom is not found in controlling the stream that is constantly changing, but in remembering that awareness is larger than what passes through it. Perhaps radical self-forgiveness is nothing more and nothing less than repeatedly remembering this. Not one time, not perfectly, but enough so that the posture changes slowly. The breath learns to instinctively deepen, and the story of who you are is no longer anchored in what you wish had been different. And in that softening, something quiet becomes possible. You continue becoming who you are meant to be.